Welcome back to the Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios. From the heart of the Motor City, it's Detroit, Michigan on News Talk 760 WJR. I've been broadcasting live from WJR for many, many, many years. I intend to continue doing that. We broadcast every Sunday at 11 a.m., giving you free legal advice. That's just not free legal advice. It's great free legal advice. We answer questions about all kinds of areas, especially my area, injury, which would include car accidents and slips and falls and animal attacks. If you have a question about any of those areas right now, call me at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. 855-529-7469. I'll give you the best free legal advice that you can get on Sunday morning from the comfort of your home or car. If you would like to tune in from a computer, go to the Law Show, follow the prompts or hit the link for Watch Live, and you'll see me answering legal questions right here, right now from high atop the Law Show studios in the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan on News Talk 760 WJR. I'm going to be also answering questions today about other areas of the law. If you have questions about how to buy auto insurance and what is the best auto insurance to purchase, or how to protect yourself if you're if you're a business owner and you need workers' compensation insurance or liability insurance. We're joined here today also by Matt Catchick. He is the head of the Department of Family Law and Probate Criminal Defense of the Dailey Law Firm, has been for many, many years, and he'll have questions about family law, which would include divorce and divorce with children. He'll talk to you about guardianships, conservatorships. He'll tell you how to protect your assets so the government doesn't get it after you go to your glory. He will tell you about traffic tickets, and we're gonna, I've got a big question for him about traffic tickets. Why should anybody bother? That's what I want to ask him, and that's what I'm going to ask him in a few minutes. So if you have a legal question, call us right now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. You can also email your questions to questions@thelawshow.com, and we will give you all the advice that you need. Again, this show is dedicated to my listeners for being patient with me while the last 6 months I've been home taking care of family, along with my wife, the lovely Jill, for whom we place the angel's wings at the end of the show. But right now I want to welcome Matt Catchick. Matt, welcome to the Law Show.
Hey, how you doing, Brian?
You're not supposed to do that when Matt comes on.
I'm flattered.
Sort of like flames and stuff like that going up when he comes on.
Happy Sunday to you, Brian.
Happy Sunday to you, too. So unfortunate developments with the University of Michigan basketball team, but we're real happy about what's going on with Michigan State, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, well, the rest of the Big Ten stepping up and representing well, and I'll just keep pulling for good old Sparty from here on out, and go State. Good luck to them.
Very good. That's awfully nice of you to say something like that. But I've indicated to you handle a number of different areas. But the question I've got for you right now is, Matt, why should anybody care about a simple traffic ticket? It's 2 points, no big deal. You can't make the insurance rates go up that much. Why should they take time off work to come see you and then take time off work to go to court and pay all this money with, I don't know, what's the benefit?
Well, the first thing I'd like to start out with is I'd like to dispel a rumor out there. A lot of people, and I get this question all the time, Brian, and they say, well, the points only last for 2 years, right? And that's wrong. When you get a traffic ticket, it stays on your driving record for 7 years. That's 7 years it's stuck there, and the vast majority of car insurance companies will charge you increased premiums if you get a ticket or multiple tickets for as long as 5 to 6 years. So the single biggest mistake people think is, well, it's going to fall off after 2 years. Who cares? That's wrong, Brian. It will stay there for 7 years. And then in addition to that, what people have to understand is lots of times there are 0-point tickets, such as 5 over on a highway, that although there's 0 points under the Michigan driving record, you still get assessed points under your car insurance company because they use a separate point system.
Wait. You're telling me that the law doesn't assign any points and the insurance companies do?
You got it. They use completely different point systems, Brian. So, like, for example, let's say you rear-end a car while you're driving.
They'll be looking at the brand of coffee you drink in order to assess premiums.
You got that right. Because if you, the classic example is you rear-end a car on the highway because the car pulled in front of you and panic stopped. When the police arrive on the scene, they don't give you a ticket because they determined it wasn't your fault because there was nothing you could do about it. Well, your car insurance company, when they're assessing your premiums, they're going to say, sorry, you ran into this car. It says it on the police report. Even though you didn't get a ticket for it, we're still going to increase your premiums for, 5 or 6 years.
Wow, that's amazing. But then tell me about why, are you able to handle a traffic ticket for somebody without making them take time off work at all?
Yeah, and almost probably 99% of the courts throughout the state of Michigan do not require the client to appear if they're represented by a lawyer. And at the Daily Law Firm, we accept all major credit cards for payment. So if you get a traffic ticket, it's as easy as picking up the phone, calling me, have your ticket number handy, have the credit card number so we can get the fee, and I can take care of all the paperwork, and I can even appear on your behalf in court so you don't have to take any time off from work.
And do you get them some time to pay the fine?
Yeah, almost all courts will give you at least, say, 2 weeks to 30 days to pay the fine. You want to make sure you do timely pay it once we work out the deal for you. But I'd say probably well over 500 times I've been successful in keeping clients from getting anything put on their record as a result of a traffic offense. What we do is we plea them to something called a non-abstractable offense.
Very good. So tell us what's new in the area of family law, Matt.
You know, the biggest trend that I've seen in family law lately, Brian, is there are what we call change of domicile cases. That's where one of the parents is like, hey, I got this great job in Iowa or something like that, so I want to move. Well, in order to do that, you have to have a full-blown change of domicile hearing. And there's probably 5 or 10 years ago, these were really hard cases to win. And I think as a result of the crashing economy and the difficulty in finding jobs here in Michigan, we're seeing a lot more courts now that are willing to permit this change of domicile. So if you're a parent that has an excellent job opportunity out of state and you thought it was hopeless to move, please give me a call so we can talk about your factual situation, because increasingly we're seeing a lot of courts allow these changes of domicile when it used to be really hard to do.
Excellent. We're going to get back to the phones right now. If you've got a legal question about any area of the law, including especially injury, auto accident, slip and fall, skiing accident, if you've been on a cruise overseas, we can handle cases overseas. I've done cases in foreign countries and in many different states in the United States, and we can handle all of that. We've got a very successful track record. And we'd like to continue that with you. If you have been injured or if somebody you know has been injured, give us a call right now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. We're going to go back to the phones right now. We're going to talk to Paulette. Paulette, welcome to the Law Show. Paulette.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, Paulette. What can I do for you?
I was asking a question about my daughter. She has stole my identity, my state ID.
Yes.
And she stole my Social Security card, and she has just racked up everything, gas bills and everything. They making me pay for the gas, and she has other things that she have credit cards and everything in my name.
So
I'm not myself.
Paulette, hold on for just a second. Paulette, hold on. You're the victim of identity theft, and just because it was your daughter, a blood relative, that did it, that's going to make it a little bit more suspicious on the part of the credit card companies. They're going to think, well, you probably just gave it to her. So what you have to do is, and I'm going to ask Matt about this, you actually have to step out of the box and go make a police report and get your daughter in trouble with the law in order to get the credit card companies to accept this and to get your credit reporting agency to accept this too. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You know, she's caught between the classic rock and the hard place, Brian, because she can either decide to...
Don't you mean Scylla and Charybdis?
Yeah, I did. I was going to say Scylla and Charybdis, but I thought you were going to reach across the table and smack me if I made another Oedipal reference. But I think the important thing to understand here is if she's going to make the claim to the credit card company that her daughter did not have authorization to use her card, she is going to have to bolster that claim by going to the police and make a police report, and then her daughter's going to get charged with a crime. So what do you do, you know?
So that's what you got to do. If you want your livelihood to continue unencumbered by this fraud, and you want to teach your daughter a lesson that she should have learned a long time ago, then you're going to go to the police right away. You're going to swear out a police report, and you're going to take that police report and you're going to send it to everybody in the world who has gotten some kind of a fraudulent charge. And, you know, we've handled a lot of cases with people that have been the victims of identity theft. One in particular I'm thinking of was a victim of identity theft 10 years ago. And they caught the guy, and they put him in jail for a long time, and he got out, and the guy, our client, is still having problems with that. There's still credit card companies that are saying that they're not going to waive the bills, even though they know that there's been a conviction in this. So, Paulette, if I can do anything else for you, you just give us a call at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. 855-529-7469. We're going to talk to Maria right now. Maria, welcome to the Law Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. You guys are great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What can we do for you?
Well, 6 months ago, I became my sister's legal guardian. She is legally incapacitated. And when I agreed to become her legal guardian, her conservator, she was given a conservator by the courts. She has like $20,000 in her that he's holding on to.
Okay.
Anyway, he said, if you get your other sister off, because I don't want to deal with her, but if you become your sister's legal guardian, I will help you, and I will sign off after 6 months. If you're doing a great job, I will sign off. And
okay,
so
wait. Hold on. I got to ask you a couple of questions. I'm a little confused. You're the guardian of your sister who's obviously disabled in some way.
Correct.
Okay. You have another sister that is also a guardian?
I had my sister who was guardian before me of my sister who's incapacitated.
I got it. So you're the sole guardian now. You replaced your other sister.
Correct.
All right. And your disabled sister's conservator has money that he refuses to let go to you for expenses in relation to your sister.
Well, he said he'd help me, and then it's been 6 months, and I haven't asked him for anything. But after 6 months, he said he would sign off.
Okay.
So when I called him, I told him Isabel's needs, and then I also mentioned to him that it had been 6 months.
Okay.
And then he went on to tell me that there's this new law that if I want anything for Isabel, I need to write it down and give him quotes and then mail it to him, and then he submits it to the courts, and then they decide whether or not to release it, because that's the new law.
Okay, now wait a minute. There's something that doesn't smell right about that. It sounds like he's sort of injecting himself into the discretionary part. What do you think, Matt?
Well, first, let's start with the fundamentals, Brian. We've got two things going on here. We have the guardianship. Guardianship relates to the incapacitated individual's health and treatment, such as whether or not they get an ear operation, what type of medication they take, whether they go to the doctor, and that type of stuff. Then you've got the conservatorship. The conservatorship has to deal with the financials, the money of the incapacitated individual, what gets paid for. And you've always got kind of an interesting dynamic when you have one person as the guardian and a different person as the conservator, because then the guardian may say, hey, she needs this money for this doctor bill, and then the conservator has to agree with that and get the court to sign off on it. Whether or not, in this particular situation, the conservator has the authority to grant the money to the guardian on a request without court intervention, I would have to have more information to make that call. But the conservator is correct that due to recent changes in the law, there's a lot stricter and closer court intervention and control over what money gets dispersed by the conservator. The best thing that this sister can do, who's the guardian right now, is document everything in writing. Because if she needs, a medical bill to be paid for, the guardian should not be paying for it out of her own pocket, even if it's her sister. She's got to document every single thing, get copies of all the bills, all the receipts, and show them to the conservator to ensure prompt repayment.
But, Matt, doesn't that increase her legal costs? Because now she's got to go out and get her own lawyer. And why is this lawyer standing in the way? Can she just file a petition with the court herself and ask the court to provide these funds without having to send them to the conservator who's going to then bill the estate? I mean, that's what's really going on here.
Well, and that's the problem here. When the caller was talking about after 6 months, this court-appointed conservator, who I assume is a lawyer, is going to get off the case, what I assume by that is he or she was going to transfer their conservatorship authority from themselves to the sister who's the guardian right now. I think that's what's going on. If that's what's going on, whether or not this guardian can convince the probate court to appoint her the conservator as well right now, I just don't know that. I don't know why the court, I don't know why this sister who's the guardian didn't say, hey, also make me the conservator. Because when I've handled these types of probate cases, Brian, it's a lot quicker which is a lawyer way of saying cheaper, if you've got one individual, assuming they're competent and they're acting in the ward's best interest, to serve as both the guardian and conservator. Now, that's not always possible, but it makes it a heck of a lot more efficient.
Does that answer a question for you?
It really does. I would never have taken it on had he not agreed to help me, because my husband got laid off with everybody else a few years back, and now he's back in school, and I just feel like I'm being strung along, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Well, I've got a suggestion for you. I'd like to invite you to take advantage of our free initial consultation, to come in and sit down and talk with Matt. Bring all your paperwork with you, bring all of your stories with you, and talk to him. He'll give you as much time as you need in his office, and there's no charge. There's no charge until you decide that you want to hire us. And what we would probably propose to do is to petition the court and point out to the court that there's only $20,000 here. And your sister, is she receiving Social Security disability benefits as well?
Yes, she is.
And are you the representative payee of that?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would propose is to have you think about retaining Matt to petition the court to make you also the conservator, so that you can make your own decisions. And then you're in a spot where all you have to do is just report to the court. Isn't that right? Rather than going through somebody else?
Well, yeah, because every time, like you pointed out, Brian, if this court-appointed conservator is an attorney, which they usually are, what they're doing is they're billing the estate for all the work. So that's an extra hoop you have to jump through, and that's that much less money that's available for Isabel, and instead is going to go to this court-appointed conservator.
All right. So listen, why don't you give us a call, Maria, at 855-LAW-SHOW during regular business hours. Ask for Colleen, that's the assistant for Matt Catchick, and schedule an appointment to come in and see Matt. There's no charge. You can take as much time as you want, have a cup of coffee, sit down, bring your husband with you. If we need to schedule an extraordinary time outside of business hours, we can do that. We'll make it convenient for you and your husband to get the answers that you need, okay?
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Very good. You're listening to The Law Show, as you do every Sunday from high atop the Law Show studios in the heart of the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, on News Talk 760 WJR. I'm Brian Dailey. I'm a host of The Law Show, and I am founder of the Dailey Law Firm. I'm answering all your legal questions this morning, right here, right now, at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. Stay tuned. After these few short messages, we'll be right back.